My name is Dr. Lemm. I have a clinic in Berlin and Mahakala Retreat Center in Montenegro. I'm specialized for detoxing the body, borreliosis, female health and nutritional therapy. This is my new series recording my patient in hope that can help you as well. If it does, please help us to be able to do it more and subscribe and put a thumb. This is a second session about how to prepare ourselves for real treatment for borreliosis with Disulfiram. The main thing is the immune system. If we are not involving our immune system, all the therapies are not optimal, or all the treatments can be good if our immune system gets better. So the immune system is the key, and the immune system doesn't work if it's blocked or if it's overactivated. So we all think that we should have a boosting of the immune system. So Lena, tell me, do you have any autoimmune diagnosis like Hashimoto, or so you don't have any?
No, I don't, except the Borreliosis, which is also an autoimmune disease in a way, I think. No,
Borreliosis is not autoimmune, so that means you are not in a category from autoimmune. So means you really, your immune system is low, and we need to clean it to get in a work. What do you say, Lena? Where do you feel that your immune system is not optimum, or why do you think you developed that serious borreliosis? Because borreliosis or all infection diseases, if a lot of people are in contact with them, not everyone develops. Mm-hmm. So developing of the borreliosis is with very strong symptoms with the people who are in disbalance with the immune system.
Yeah, I think definitely my stomach and digestion. I think it really was affected there because I was really kind of in a chronic stress, or I was in a lot of stress for some years. And then I think in general I had been traveling so much on the road that my whole immune system was already very, very, stressed out. Mm-hmm. when I got the bite of the tick. Mm-hmm. And I think it's somehow the stomach and digestion. And then because I got 2 waves of it. First I got really sick, then I got better, and then I had to another time take antibiotics because that was the only thing the doctors were prescribing me. Mm-hmm. And that came after I had an ulcer. So I had, issues with the stomach. I already had issues I hadn't had my periods for years. So it's kind of all in this area somehow. And also had problem already with like vaginal balance. And
with the microbiome. So this is everything microbiome. Yeah, our immune system is 80% around surrounding the gut. So the gut is really major immune system in our body, together with microbiome as well. So we have in our cells or in blood cells around the gut, and then we have also microbiome in the gut, which is involved in immune system. So that means this was your weakness, and that's why you became so sick, and also stress. So stress is okay if it's for short time, but long-term stress, we can usually don't have enough power to maintain our health on the long-term stress. In our first session we talked about Disulfiram. This is the therapy with the medication. I would today concentrate how to cleanse the immune system of the body. And there are also another topics which we can maybe do in another session for you and for you guys on the screen. Today is my favorite topic then, because I realize that most illnesses are either really caused by pollution or by environmental toxins, either chemicals or heavy metals. If we have some toxins in our body, if it's a little bit, our system can work normally and doesn't bother us too much. But if we get to a certain degree, this is really blocking our system. What is known, for example, that the chemical substances or the microplastics or xenobiotics are a hormonal disruptor. So they are definitely, the chemistry are disrupting our hormones. If we are not have a good balance in hormones, also immune system doesn't work, because hormones are one of the main influencing from our all over the body, but also the immune system. So this is this big pool of the chemicals. But what I realized even more are also the heavy metals, which are actually really blocking the receptors in our body. For example, if you have too much cadmium, our zinc receptor is not there where it should be, because cadmium has a stronger binding of the receptor, so that you can take zinc, but this is not coming where it should be. So that's why I, Lena, done with you 2 tests to see how is it. And the first scan I like to do is one very, very controversial test, because some people from science world are saying this is really rubbish and this is completely wrong and is nothing right in this testing. So what I can tell in my experience is, Lena, this is alternative medicine. This is not a science medicine. I am a doctor and you should be informed. This is alternative medicine, and I use it because I don't have much possibilities to measure the chemical in the bodies. There are some, but they are very expensive. We can talk also about and some people do that, but it's not easy. Mm-hmm. This is very simple, easy way. And my experience is everyone who has a high pesticides or chemistry in this scan, and I give them detox program with glutathione and herbs, after a few months the pesticides load get less. So that for me this is enough information that I am happy to use it, and I'm definitely not harming. So you were informed.
It's more an indicator.
It's more indicator, and I start with that because your test is saying that you have some pesticides. They are high, but they are not extremely high. So that means most likely maybe you have good detox genes. There are 30-40% of the people who don't have a good detox genes. I measure that every day. It's maybe worth to check it in the future.
I also do live very healthy because of the Lyme disease, and I do like fastings and detoxes.
That could be also the reason. So I had like 20-30% other people really in the very high scale, and you are in a lower high scale, but still it's really good to start to detox the chemistry. And this chemistry detoxing is also influencing the mercury and other kinds of toxins, because this is known that the glutathione is the most important substance for being able to detox all toxins. On this paper, you see only the things which were not okay. That's why it's nothing in green. Don't worry about. You have a lot of results. They were good. What we see here, it's your pesticides here in a yellow, which means this is higher than should be, but it's not tragical. So we should really definitely detox it, and I can tell you with the program I gave you, and when you change a little bit or you put a little bit more broccoli in your food, that will go down. And with you, this is not that strong, and afterwards we can do a heavy metal detox. First is the chemical, because this is also easier. What else we also see here, that you have a little bit vitamin A deficiency, and I wouldn't use it as a vitamin A if you want to become pregnant. The take is a beta carotene. This is also so good with the gut. Vitamin A is good for the skin and mucus. So you can take vitamin A, but actually I would not recommend you, I would not recommend you to take vitamin A without a blood test, but I can recommend you beta carotene without blood test, so you can decide. I'm not happy to give vitamin A any woman who is in an age to be able to have a baby. Because if you get pregnant and you get a little bit too high vitamin A, this is not really good. It's teratogenic. That means baby is not going to be okay. So be cautious with that.
And you say that it's important for the mucus.
It's for the mucus, for the gut lining, and all the mucus, also vaginal, and you have deficiency. And this is very often with people who don't have enough enzymes in the gut to reserve from the gut enough fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A.
Wow.
So it's very, very, everything is matching. That's why I always see, especially if this test, all tests are not for me reason to treat you. For me is the reason the test together with your symptoms, you say, and to see, is it really matching together? And this is matching together. You have gut problems, you have vaginal problems, you have scan with vitamin A, but I'm recommending you beta carotene every day. And most likely, it's your really gut getting better, and for overall health and also for eyes, this is important. For the toxins you have here, I recommend what is the cheapest form of glutathione boosting, and as you know, I'm specialized for glutathione, and I'm making also food and kitchen with glutathione boosting. The main boosting of glutathione is actually with plants, because the NRF2 path is a path which is activated to renew used glutathione. And we have a product on the market which have a mixture of these plants, and you can also use it in a kitchen. I use it in my kitchen in Mahakala in Montenegro. And that's why also the gut is feeling better and we are able to detox better. So NRF2, we have two products, one German and one American one. You can choose what you like. I personally take this American one because I have the feeling is working better. Also, I've done the testing in a blood who doesn't have activated part NRF2. Is after this supplement very usually active.
Wow. Okay.
8 of 10 are activated afterwards.
Okay.
So NRF2 very important. Okay, to boost glutathione are also the ingredients for the glutathione important, and this is NAC, glycine, And these two are actually enough to become more able to produce glutathione. There is a third amino acid, it's glutamine, and this is also supplement who is very known to feed the lining or the mucus or the gut wall and the cells. And a lot of doctors are recommending. I'm not really actively recommending, to be honest, because I'm not tolerating it really good, but doesn't mean this is not good for you. Very known and very popular supplement for the gut is glutamine, but for the glutathione production is actually enough glycine and NAC. NAC is the most important because that has a sulfur, which is limited substance in our food. And if you take that, this is the cheapest way, and you don't have also side effects, and you will, in combination with the plant who are activated NRF2 path, which means your genes are activated to renew used glutathione. Because glutathione is used and then it's like trash. But if we can recycle it, which are plant making, which is very interesting, it's like new, and you don't need so much proteins or amino acid. You can really a lot of the glutathione use from which is already in your body.
Wow.
This is very little known, and there is a very strong science after this information, NRF2 activation.
Okay, and this is just gonna work with me taking these supplements. Like, I literally don't have to do anything else but to take these supplements, and it's already gonna regulate.
Yes, this is, from my experience, regulating the chemistry. All patients, after using that for a few months, have less, or after 6 months, also some of them really almost in a green zone of pesticides or chemistry, but this is alternative method. What is really in a body, I can't say scientifically, but I know that the patient are feeling better, and the scan is saying that. So this is for me enough to do that, and I rarely use the laboratory because they are more expensive, and also the private insurance doesn't pay them.
Okay, great.
So this is about getting rid of chemicals. We have a lot of chemicals in our environment, and the biggest problem are chemicals which are hormone interrupter. This is proven, xenobiotics, but we have also chemicals which are for the non-sticking products. They are not possible to put apart. This is a big topic, and our environment is full of them, so it's really good not to buy any non-stick or waterproof products like shoes or rain jackets, and not only Teflon for the pots. So it doesn't help if you detox your body and if you cook in a Teflon and you get more of that. So important is really to balance intake and detoxing.
Okay.
So detoxing high and intake low. This is the key. Okay. The second, my favorite topic, which was my major problem in my health, are the heavy metals, and they are even more or stronger blockaging the immune system, and they are not easy to get rid of that.
Wow. And did my test results show any?
So we are also, the bioscan can show some heavy metals. But as I said, this is not as accurate as VitaCell, and VitaCell is light spectrometer, which is scientific method in pathology and pharmacology. So that means in vitro, out of body, is no doubt major part in science and in medicine. But in vivo, in our own body, is not yet recognized in a medicine. Maybe it's never going to be, because that needs to be studied for someone, and I think nobody will earn money with that. And there is no big patent you can do with that. But there is some existing already. We come to that. So what are your results showing in VitaCell? VitaCell is my favorite diagnostic system I do. Since I do that, I can help so many patients not only to get minerals, which we are most lacking. We are not having so much vitamin deficiency as much as minerals. And minerals are also lacking in our soil, like magnesium. And we are also using so much magnesium because of a lot of stress. So that's why minerals are really if you want one supplement, most likely is you need minerals. And this is measuring the skin and the bone and all tissues in a hand. That's why it's really only compared with the full blood, which we can measure in the blood. And I usually do both with a private patient and compare that, and it's always in the same direction. So I prove the VitaCell with hundreds of blood testing, and the blood testing is always in the same direction if it's full blood count, not a serum, because it's serum is not accurate, because the most of minerals are in the cells, like potassium, for example, or zinc. So that means we don't actually need a really full blood count measurement, which is also more expensive and invasive than the scan. With this scan, you only need a blood group to know, and then it's saying the minerals like calcium, magnesium, phosphor, and so on. But what is the major thing with minerals, or the most important thing, is a zinc. Why? Because I would never give zinc blindly to someone. I would always measure some kind of measurement, either full blood count or VitaCell, because we can have it also too much.
Oh, okay.
And this is not good, because all minerals are like metals. And if you have too much, this is not okay. So here is the norm, optimal line, and you see all minerals are actually low, and this is very usual. And you don't have anything too high. Some people have of some minerals too high. We can have it. But you have bore a little bit high. Maybe you took bore acid for the vaginal treatment, did you?
No.
Never.
I didn't. Actually, my friend gave it to me, but I didn't take it. And it's interesting because I'm taking magnesium supplements all the time, and zinc. I take magnesium and I take zinc.
Okay, so what is really important for you is magnesium, and this is very, very low. But this is not a surprise for me. The most people are having too low. Not as low as you, but I would say 90% of the people have low. So magnesium, I would give it blindly. Take it once a day, 200 milligrams every day, but I would recommend you to take 3 times a day, 200 milligrams, 600 milligrams a day.
Okay.
Yeah. There are different kind of combination. I actually give mostly magnesium chelate, which is one form I realized is most tolerated, and the companies I deal with them, or I recommend, they have it. I don't recommend the magnesium, which is usually in in let's say supermarket, because they are usually not the form who is good resorbed.
Okay.
And what is also important to know, magnesium citrate is a form which is really good tolerated, but it's only good for people who are very strong with the digestive system and who have maybe a little bit constipation. Because this is a little bit aggressive for the gut, and it could be a little bit good if you can go open your bowel better.
I have a little bit constipation.
Yeah, then maybe it's good combination.
Okay.
Magnesium citrate and magnesium chelate or some other kind of magnesium. But for you, it's actually zinc, the number one supplement you should take, because this is the lowest one.
Wow.
Yeah, and usually people who have low zinc, they have high cadmium. And you are like really very good example, perfect, like the theory is saying. So your cadmium is very high. Did you ever smoked?
Sometimes.
Okay, so cadmium is that high usually with the people who smoke or are not good detoxer. And the other one, you are pretty okay. A little bit mercury is too high, but compared to the other people, you're not too bad. Your main problem is cadmium.
What does cadmium do? What does high cadmium do?
Cadmium is blocking a lot of things. It's a really cancerogenic.
Oh my God.
I had a patient, young one, a mother brought him, he was 24. And he just had testicle cancer and all the therapies, and he had a huge cadmium. You have high, but not as high as him. He had really skyrocketing what wasn't able to measure. And he's since 10 years with me, and we detox, and he's fine, and his cadmium is now lower. So we need to work on that. But the first thing what you need to do is to take zinc. Even though your cadmium is blocking the receptors, the more zinc you take, the more is floating in the blood, and few receptors which are maybe free from cadmium can bind the zinc.
Okay, because I'm taking it all the time.
You should take it 3 times a day, 25 milligrams, and this is much higher than it's recommended. But the zinc is actually very fast flushing through our body out. Maybe also, as long as you are not detoxed, to take more often. Maybe to take, but it's difficult to take every 2 hours some medication. With the minerals, you have very strong iodine deficiency. This is also compared with other people very strong. Iodine is important also for detox or for the hormones, because this is activating your thyroid gland. So I'm very interested or curious how are results of your thyroid glands. I wouldn't be surprised if it's lowish. So this is about minerals. Do you have any questions about your minerals?
Yeah, is this somehow connected to the fact that I have so low blood sugar and blood pressure? Because I'm, even now I'm feeling it. It's like this heaviness, and this is, I'm wondering if it's like connected with the blood and the iron.
Okay, so I can mention something which I see here. I didn't mention that so far because it's not that strong like the other one, and usually people are overwhelmed when I say everything at once. I would usually say it in the second session, but when you're asking now, you have a low chromium, and chromium is known if you are deficient to make prediabetes or diabetes. So that means carbohydrates metabolic system is influenced very strongly by chromium and B1, and if it's chromium low, it's maybe really also good to take some.
Maybe that's why I'm insulin resistant as well.
Yes. So chromium, for example, is high dose. I'm very sensitive, and I always think I'm like kind of sensitive because there are no more sensitive people than I am. I haven't met, So I can tell you how I am, and then you can see maybe this is for you as well, maybe not. I'm not able to take a whole tablet of chromium, so I take only micro doses. I'm breaking chromium down and take one small piece of that.
Okay, wow.
You can try with one and see how are you. I get really oxidative stress with chromium, but I need that as well. And I was pre-diabetic as well.
Okay, so all of these indicators are reasons for why I'm feeling like so sluggish and why my blood sugar and blood pressure is so low.
Yeah, blood pressure is very, very often because of the minerals. The minerals, deficiency in minerals can make low blood pressure. A low blood pressure is not existing as a diagnosis. I think this is because we women have it very often, and in medicine is not so much attention to women. Unfortunately, the men don't have it so much. You can also have some iron deficiency, which we need to check your blood test. Maybe we do that in another filming. All blood tests we really need. This is a very important topic.
Maybe we should take them now before I leave today.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'm leaving.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then we do that today. Good. So the minerals,
Wow.
and your insulin resistance could be also because of the heavy metals and also of the borreliosis. So what I give you a protocol which is individual, what you should take. And most likely we are not allowed to make health promise, but even if you would be allowed, I really don't know. I can only tell you that 99% of the people are feeling better. It's only the question how much. So this is what a future is going to say. But the major healing, actually, you will feel if you detox your cadmium.
Yes.
And if you detox and if you get rid of your borreliosis.
Yes.
This is actually the key.